welcome back. My name is Sinead, and in this video I'm going to be reading my TOK essay with you guys. I'm a firm believer in sharing your work. I think that there's a lot of value that can come from sharing your work with others. That's why in school I was always like peer checking with people, where we would like switch our essays and we would read each other's. I just think it makes for a good experience. I do think it's ridiculous, like Ariel Bassett said, that you can spend hours and hours and hours writing this essay only for like one person to read. Whilst in high school, whilst essays are difficult to write, I do really enjoy the process of getting my ideas down on paper and really having to think about a specific topic. In my TOK essay, I'm responding to a quote, and I'm doing the AOKs of history and science. I got an A in TOK, just for the record, so the quality of my essay is something that you want to aim for if you are looking to get a high score in TOK. I'm really proud of this essay. I really like the way it turned out, and I hope you can enjoy it. I'd be glad to hear your opinions about this essay if you actually do listen through it all the way throughout. You can leave them in the comment. Honestly, you can criticize me if you want. I'm kind of worried because I do touch on a few sensitive topics, but I'm gonna read it anyway, so yeah, let's just get started. So I answered the research question: the pursuit of knowledge is not about finding truth, it is about finding significant truths. William James once said, "The art of being wise is the art of knowing what to overlook." This is a reminder that we as knowers must move through life critical of the knowledge that we explore. As the world is complex and our time here is strictly limited, it calls for a need to be more efficient with finding truth. In the interest of time and money, in order to be wise, we must discern truths that are significant from those that are not. In 1997, when a Mars Pathfinder landed a base station with a roving probe on Mars, George Schuyler mused, "I'm surprised to see people get wildly excited about a possible bacterium on Mars when our own planet is crawling with undiscovered species." Scholars' musing begged the question, what makes a truth significant, and who gets to determine which hold more value than others? Moreover, what is the importance of measuring significance in the pursuit of knowledge? To narrow the scope of this essay, I will discuss the above statement with reference to two areas of knowledge: natural sciences and history. To properly discuss this statement, the first knowledge question will be addressed. Whilst this topic could involve a discussion of truth, I aim to focus on the domains of truth of which the AOKs are interested, rather than a discussion of the nature of truth itself. Christine Consul made the point that significance is not something integral to knowledge, but instead something ascribed by a particular observer for particular reasons. The significance of truth is thus a human measure of value. To weigh a truth's significance is to ask, to what extent does it help fulfill my goal? Each AOK has their own purpose, which determines in what domains of truth they are interested in. Natural scientists seek truths about the physical world to gain control over nature and the ability to predict its actions. The more objective, quantifiable, and consistent their theories, the better. Historians seek truth about the past, formulating coherent narratives that allow us to develop meaningful interpretations of events that shape our present and future. I think we're bringing the hair out. That's what we're doing. In order to be productive in the pursuit of knowledge, one needs intuition to sift through information and choose that which is helpful in achieving his or her goal. Thus, significance is practicality. Significant truths are truths which assist in fulfilling the goal one has in their pursuit of knowledge, specific to their AOK and focus of interest. Insignificant or mere truths are information which serve no purpose, for example, raw, unorganized data, or data perceived as uninteresting or irrelevant. People's perception of what is significant is not a constant, however, and can change as worldviews change. A truth significant can thus vary over time from person to person. The natural sciences can provide insight into what it means for a truth to be significant, and how this distinction is important in the pursuit of knowledge. Scientists seek to understand nature by developing objective models which accurately describe phenomena. In developing models, scientists use Occam razor as a reasoning heuristic to assess significance. This states that entities should not be multiplied beyond necessity. In science, this translates to suggest that when scientists are presented with two theories equally accurate in modeling reality, the simplest theory with the least assumptions is chosen. Hence, why scientists are continuously trying to unify different theories into one idea. Maxwell's work in 1879 was deemed significant, as it revealed how the seemingly separate entities of electricity and magnetism are actually two sides of the same coin. More recently, the work of Weisenberg and Salman in the 1970s formulated the electroweak force theory from electromagnetism and the weak nuclear force. A search for a grand unified theory which would reveal the connection between electroweak, strong nuclear, and gravitational forces remains one of the most potent goals in physics. Essentially, scientists prefer a more generalized theory that is applicable to more domains of reality. Thus, in science, practicality determines the significance of a truth, which in turn gives focus to scientists in their pursuit of knowledge, as well as intuition to differentiate the important from the useless. However, this is not to say that scientists always come to agreements about what is significant, or that what is significant in science is self-evident. In science, even if certain theories reflect reality using mathematical arguments, the scientific community, driven by their own motives and biases, may reject such explanations, deeming the theory to be insignificant. For example, when Peter Higgs in 1964 first postulated the existence of a new type of boson particle mathematically to explain how particles get their mass, his paper was deemed by one journal, Physics Letters, to be of no obvious relevance to science. Higgs persevered with his theory, however, and a year later saw recognition for his theory by a U.S. journal, leading physicists to eventually conclude its significance. The Higgs boson eventually, quote, became part of the furniture in particle physics, unquote, and was confirmed by the Large Hadron Collider, awarding Higgs a Nobel Prize for his significant contribution to physics. Thus, whilst the urge to find significant truths can give one focus in the pursuit of knowledge, we should be skeptical in what we claim is significant, as this judgment is not based on reason alone, but can be influenced by our own personal/cultural biases and emotions. History can also provide insight into the importance of finding significant truths in the pursuit of knowledge. Historians can seek to find the significance of certain events or people. Consul identifies the 5 R's that can be used to assign historical significance, whether it was remarked on, remembered, resonated with people, whether it resulted in change, or revealed another aspect of the past. To European historians, the World War II Jewish Holocaust was a significant event because it was remarked on in newspapers/diaries, is remembered by Jewish, Germans, and Western societies today, and still resonates with them as a horrific tragedy, resulting in the death of 6 million Jews. In history, events societies agree are significant are the events that we choose to remember, and this affects our actions in the present. Since the Holocaust, Germany has paid $89 billion in compensation to victims, erected memorial museums, and in schools, German children are educated about this violent history. Conversely, during the colonial era in Africa, atrocities were committed across the continent by European/American imperialists, yet little compensation has been given, and the history of colonialism and its legacies is commonly whitewashed in schools. In France, a new law has altered the history curriculum to explore the positive contributions of French colonialism in Africa. In Britain, the curriculum concentrates on the beginnings and/or ends of the empire, disregarding the in-between, effectively ignoring its violence and lasting effects. And the new AP curriculum is set to promote a belief in the American exceptionalism. The worry, apparently, in teaching nations colonial pasts is a fear of losing pride in country. It can be argued that the pursuit of history is about first finding what is true, then determining its significance, as this decides problems societies choose to address in the present. The danger, however, is that driven by things such as national identity, power politics, and/or cultural priorities and prejudices, what is deemed insignificant to one group may be highly relevant to another. Historical truths may be subject to powerful forces who censor, silence, or reject altogether particular voices whose stories or side of story never gets told and whose painful histories never get addressed. However, whilst finding significant truth is important in the pursuit of knowledge, I would not argue that these truths is what the pursuit of knowledge is, quote, all about, as the title describes. From my own personal experience, the pursuit of knowledge is about more than just conclusions. Einstein mused, quote, the pursuit of knowledge is more valuable than its possession. To pursue knowledge is to make a conscious effort to learn and grow, and is perhaps one of the most important journeys of one's life. Along the way, as knowledge is required, implicit lessons of life, identity, and the nature of the universe are learned. Robert Pirsig said that, to live for some future goal is shallow. It's the sides of the mountains which sustain life, not the top. Here's where things grow. In my own journey, whilst there is a focus towards finding significant truths, I am generally more occupied by the joy of learning rather than rushing to conclusions. Humans are what Karen Armstrong calls meaning-seeking beings. Peter Brown wrote in one of his books that how we understand the world is shaped by our, quote, hunger for narrative, unquote, which, quote, rises out of our discomfort with ambiguity and arbitrary events, unquote. Significance can be viewed not as a property of knowledge, but as a human yardstick which measures the importance of knowledge relative to human-generated concepts. Significance can be viewed not as a property of knowledge, but as a human yardstick, which measures the importance of knowledge relative to human-generated concepts. In the pursuit of scientific and historical knowledge, this yardstick is integral to having a productive pursuit of knowledge, as it gives us intuition to be able to sift through monstrous amounts of data/resources. What we then decide is significant is important as it affects our present-day actions. Yet, while the pursuit of knowledge is guided by significant truths and an effort to find meaning in the world, it is also about the joy of the journey and the more implicit lessons learned along the way. The significant truth that I twigged from this essay is that it is the act of always choosing to pursue knowledge which is significant in one's life. And that's the end. Thanks for watching. I hope that helped any of you who are wondering what a quote-unquote good TOK essay sounds like. That essay was 1,600 words. I'm really proud of this essay. I worked really hard on this essay. I wrote about like 10 drafts before I actually got to this essay. Pretty much nothing from my first draft, which was like a long page of word vomit, was in the last draft. It took a lot of drafts in order to get it sounding this good. I'm actually really proud of it. I think it's pretty good. Obviously there's no way that you can copy this essay because there's new TOK essay titles every year, but I encourage you to take inspiration from mine, maybe take some inspiration about the structure, about like the use of language, and just some general inspiration for your TOK essay.